Hello everyone, so welcome back to the stream. Today, so I guess this is the final series of analyzing these monster games. Probably, I guess I picked up 10 games, right? And we already analyzed 7 of those games. And today, we'll just analyze the remaining 3 games. So, yeah, that's the plan for the stream. Maybe if possible, I'll just do some programming maybe at the end of the stream. Okay, so we'll just go for the analysis. So the first game that today we're just going to look up is the game between Zevich and Vologon, so which takes place in 2004, April 21st. Okay, so probably I'll just okay, the game starts with E4. Carocon. So E4, C3 Carocon. Sorry, it's not C3, it's C6, right? C6 Carocon, and then D4, D5. Okay, then playing B3. I'm not sure what this variation is. What is it named as? Caracon Varroquezi Fantasy Variation. So once I wrap up this opening, okay, let's see what happens in the game. So E6, knight C3, bishop B4, bishop F4, knight E7, queen D3, B6, knight E2, bishop A6, queen E3, short castle, long castle. Yeah, then this game should be interesting. Okay, c5, a3, bishop takes c3, queen takes c3, bishop takes e2, bishop takes e2, and then c4, h4, b5, queen moves back to e1, knight c6, h5, queen d7, g4, f6, bishop back to the home square. Maybe everything along this diagonal, I guess, or maybe even this. Probably it should be the reason to play the bishop f1 should be to play bishop g2. I'm not sure. Okay, so rook a d8. Hmm. Okay, he played bishop h3. Okay, b takes e4. C takes e4. Knight takes d4. Now I'm opening up the strike. So yeah, now playing the g5. Maybe some discourse along this diagonal. I'm not sure about it. And then closing this, we're playing f5. Okay, king b1. Okay, now moving the queen out of this diagonal. So queen c6. Now striking the king with the full flag. Probably this should be okay, right? It just centralizes this pawn structure. Now also the bishop. Okay, this becomes the dark squares. So eventually this is not so good in the top levels, right? Probably if a 2000 player is playing this game, most probably will just close the position. I'm not sure what Bologan is going to do. Okay, so Bologan takes on e4. So it is f takes e4, queen back to f3, sorry c3. Watching the pawn forward. So the reason to not capture this is probably after this exchanges, you can simply play this, which eventually drops the queen back to the g1 square, defending the undefended rook. So okay, that's the whole sequence of moves, I guess. Okay, So he played a slight e3 move, so which actually the same line doesn't work now. So even if he captures with the rook, this loses one spot. If he captures with the, so probably should be moving the bishop back. Maybe bishop takes e3 would be good. I'm not sure, which eventually allows. Still don't know why can't he play this move? So knight to e2 attacks both the queen and bishop, and then captures this bishop, right? Not sure. But black didn't play this move. Oh fuck! I just missed the mate in one. Just being so dumb, bro. Just calculating all those complicated lines, actually missing the mate in one. Oh shit! So the knight is kind of like actually pinned to the mate in one. So that's the reason why he just trying to consolidate the positions. I'm not sure why he did play this move. So I'm just assuming a different kind of lines which actually lose on spot. So just go with the flow. Okay, so after e3, rook takes knight. Okay, he's just giving up the rook. Queen takes queen takes h1. King moves to a2. Queen grabs the other bishop as well on the h3. Rook takes d8. Pawn takes h6. G takes h6. Queen, queen g4. I guess I already analyzed this game, so after captures as a mate in one. Yeah, I've already seen this game, bro. I guess this game is analyzed by Agadmator, I guess. Not sure. Hmm. I'm not sure, but I've just seen this game somewhere. Or I have bad memory, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just analyze this question in the previous streams. I don't know. I guess I analyzed this question in the previous stream or somehow. So I should be inspecting my previous streams. But I don't know. Okay, let's go with the thing. So e4, going with the Caro-Kann and intelligent pieces. Okay, so here is when the position gets complicated. Yeah, so after this simple h6 move, hmm, I guess Bologan missed this mating pattern. Check on this. Okay, so probably I'll just do the analysis with the ancient turned on. Uh, so I don't know about this opening, so I'll just try to skim the opening through the engine lines. So probably I should be learning this Marcosi variation as well. So it is a Marcosi. Don't know how to pronounce this thing, but okay. So after So the game is dead draw up here. So Indian says it's a completely equal position in this place. So probably you should not be exchanging the bishop for this knight. What would be the good move for maybe developing knights so that he can just bring the rook. I don't know why he just exchanged the bishop for knight. Don't see any idea behind that. Okay, probably his idea is to close the position, right? So if he just closes this position, this bishop becomes quite inactive. So that may be the reason to exchange the bishop for a knight and then close the position. Then try to have an attack. So once again the position is dead draw. So we should be playing h5, not now playing h5. So h6 should stop each and every threat, right? So bishop h3 is the idea. So which eventually, wow. So okay, so this is the question where I should be analyzing into the deeper lines, I guess. So probably after the rook d8. So after the rook a d8 move, bishop h3. So why bishop h3? I'm not sure why this move is so strong. Probably because of okay. So after this, just just calculate what's the best move for the white. So for the black. So maybe black can play. There is actually no good move for black, I guess. Probably I would play this, maybe trying to open up with the knight. So even if he kicks back the knight, I try to bring the rook into the game. I don't know. Okay, what's the best move recommended by the engine? Oh wow, that's a5. Wow, that's great. So a5 is the more recommended by the engine as well. So the what did Bologan play? Bologan takes on the center. So the reason to take on the center, what's the reason to take on the center? Probably his idea would be after it captures, let's say he captures back, still the question is good. What else can be done up here? Or even further attack, which actually does this, captures. Bro, I don't know bro, so I should be stopping this Asian thing. So what's the threat here for the black? That is pushing. Probably I should be analyzing more positions with the engines turned on. Okay, pawn takes e4, knight takes d4, and then marching forward. So the sequence of moves is quite different. So what if instead of capturing, I directly move the pawn up there? So yes, actually the lines is quite different. So what if I move this now? So you can just simply chop off. So what's the line recommended by the engine? Knight d5. Okay, attacking the bishop. Hmm. So the previous one after captures and then moving this, knight d5 moves covered by this pawn. So eventually stop this pawn is stopping the knight d5 move. So I should be playing some positional play up here. What if he captures here? So after he captures, bishop takes a g5. and then let's say he takes on this, which eventually loses the queen. So let's say he moves forward, so he eventually loses the pawn. Okay, what's the more combination? Okay, h6 now. So bishop back to h4, keeping the pressure, and then a b4, queen takes e4, king h8, white should play king h8, let's just play another move. So which results, okay, still the same thread is up there, so queen, so king h8. So now bishop takes e6, should be moving the queen somewhere, let's say move it to the square, it takes b4, queen takes b4, probably I'll be considering the positions up here, queen a4, then I'll be capturing this, that's another thing which actually doesn't increase my position, right? So probably I should not be allowing this check, so king b1, so rook b8, maybe aiming for this and mate. So now we should be playing takes this, queen a3, going for that mate. So king c1 again. Then why to play the king b1 move in the first place? So this is a safer move. So after the queen check and this check, let's say queen runs to, so wherever the king moves is safer, right? Hmm. So these two squares are good as compared to this. So what's this then? Because this allows the rook to d1 check after it captures. So we have the the knight takes c6. Probably can just play some check like this. Taking moves, capture, which allows the bishop takes e8, e7. Check. Let's say he plays c3. When g1 check. Then now the king is safe. Uh, this line is quite much complicated up here. So after, okay, the game goes on simple as this. Yeah, so after this move, so after the d captures e4, the game becomes complicated. So after d takes e4, c takes e4, so knight takes d4. Now opening the center. Let's say not captures, but we just consolidate the position. Like the queen. So that's the reason why he played. Now we can just play this, right? So now we have the queen takes f6. Sorry, g takes f6. Rook takes f6. Bishop e5. Rook takes d4. Rook takes d4. Bishop takes d4. So actually losing more number of materials up here. Wait a minute. So probably, so this question is quite complicated for me because I haven't played any kind of a deep positional chess. So I just simply rely on tactics. But here the view is to cover the squares positionally as a move. So after this move, so there is no good move for black, right? So whatever the move black plays is essentially making the position worse for black. So actually the good move is before to strike on the queen side to make some attacks on the queen side. Okay, he closed the position by playing this because of the series of moves that we already see here. Plus taking the pawn opens the king's file, so which might be have some kind of threats up there. So after moving the rook, we can just simply capture the bishop, sorry, the knight with either the rook or the bishop. So, okay, yeah, up here we have a move which eventually, so yeah, so here the c3 move, the queen c3 move is out of the world. But there's a meta move. The better move is bishop e5. Okay, the bishop e5 move is the more cleaner version, which enters the position in game, I guess. So because he don't want to risk the rook takes bishop e5, right? So probably this is more like an Asian play. But when you play with humans, so you should be playing with emotions. So maybe that's the reason why Zavich played this queen c3 move. So probably waiting for him to capture the rook. Let's say plays this, he takes this. So now he can play the rook takes d4. Then the rook takes d4 doesn't work up here. But if let's say if we move anywhere the rook, let's say if we doubles up here, we just simply play the rook d6, attacking the queen, and then having a mate in one. Got it. So that might be the calculation that would be that might be the lines that Zavi should be calculating in his brain. I'm not sure. But also this move finishes off in the position because there is no defense of this pawn. So let's say if you play this, so this allows the knight g f5, h takes g7. I thought of bishop takes g7, but h takes g7. So I also should be learning about how to analyze the better moves for pawns. So sometimes capturing the pawn is a good move, sometimes capturing the bishop is a good move. But okay, let's see what why the pawn captures up here is a better move than the bishop captures here. So the bishop captures here allows rook d1 check, queen captures d1, and then rook e8. But here the h takes g7. Let's go for the same line, right? Now what happens if the rook takes this, comes up here. We have the queen g5. Bro, bro, my brain is not braining. Actually, I can't even imagine or calculate this position. So even with the help of ancient lines, it's quite confusing for me to analyze this game. But I don't know what's the actual threat up here. Well, he should be playing the knight h6 move. Oh, actually, it's knight g6. Sorry. Where should be playing knight g6 move? I think this. I got white black need to play that, but I'm not sure with this move. Probably my idea was to play this and then capture this and have some tricks up there. So that was my initial idea. Uh, okay, that's the move recommended by the engine. I still don't know why Morozevich played g4 instead of h5. Don't get his idea behind this. No, actually he didn't play g4, bro. You are the one who played that thing. Oh fuck. Ah, my brain is draining, bro. Wait a second. I'll just research myself and I'll try to analyze the whole question from the beginning. Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, so we'll just try to analyze the whole position for the whole game from the beginning. So yeah, the game starts with the Caracon, right? So with the F3 line, so this is all of book theory, I guess. I'm not sure about it. So probably I should be learning the openings before analyzing the game. So I'll just give the opening part and I'll try to dig up when the game really gets heated. So the opening part really feels obvious to me. So trying to defend this pawn and then creating a strong center by both black and white. Developing the knight to the c3, pinning the knight to the king, developing the other bishop to the f4 square, to knight to e7, not to the f6 because of maybe because of this e5 thing, I'm not sure. Then the queen d3. Okay, the idea for the b3 move is to just develop the bishop on a6, b6 move is to develop the bishop on a6 to attack the queen on d3. So eventually the move is executed in short castle and long castle respectively. So after the c5 move, okay, a3, bishop takes c3, queen takes c3, bishop takes the knight on e2, bishop takes e2, closing the position. For playing c4, then h4, striking the center. He should be playing h5, but he dropped back the queen because of maybe this might be a threat. Okay, so this queen moves a blunder. So he should be eventually stopping this h5 by playing h6, where he played queen d7. So there are so many moves that are not seemingly obvious to me. So obviously, as an intermediate level chess player, I try to stop the pawn close. I try to bring some counter plays, but I don't understand most of the moves that these in the level that these guys do. So it's not the part where the game really is, the part where the stress is building. So okay, so he played f4. I seemingly don't understand this. Sorry, after g4, don't understand this f6 move as well. Hmm. So captures isn't the move, so I should be playing a rook d e8, centering the rooks. Hmm. So after this, play g5, f captures g5, bishop captures g5, and then what's the sequence of move here? Probably playing h6 to kick the bishop back, then bishop takes the knight maybe, I'm not sure, or probably moving the bishop back to, so wait a minute, I'll just stop the engine. So rook d e8, okay, so then king b1, okay, then a5, okay, so I lose this king b1 and a5. So now it seems obvious. So now we can just play the g5. So pawn captures g5, bishop takes g5, and then h6, and then bishop back to the c1. Got the whole line up here, but d takes e4 is played, and then c takes e4. Then the knight captures on the d4. Okay, now striking the king side with the g5, losing the position, sliding the king, probably having some square for bishop, I guess, I'm not sure. Okay, after sliding the queen, attacking with h6, pawn takes e4. Okay, we have already discussed the line up here. So the rook takes, then we can essentially take the rook, and after the exchange of rooks, we still have the wait, I'll just show the line. So after rook takes, we have the rook takes d4. So if rook takes d4, we have the queen takes d4. So let's say g takes h6. I can also place g takes h6. So still having the mate. Also, this pawn is also under pressure. Also, there's a discovery, sorry, there's a check from different rook as well. So king f7 is a safer move. So after king f7, you can just simply play the rook, sorry, the queen h8 check. King moves to f7, and then the queen check moves. You'll just see the line. So after this, let's say he moves here. Then we have the rook g1. So having this check, I guess, or probably playing. No, no, it should be this check. So if he plays at the rook g4, okay, let's say if he plays something else, then you have the rook g7 check, king f6, then you have a rook g8 check. So back to this, now queen g7 check. You got that line? Hmm. So probably this move, after this move, this knight to g8 is better, which prevents the thing. So after this, rook g1 check, going for the same line. This knight is still not be defended. So king e7, probably escaping king through this. So we should actually lose this knight, and we are going back to the game. So we can just easily win the game up here. Okay, so that's the whole sequence of moves when we just capture the rook, sorry, capture the bishop by the rook. So he played simple e3 move, again going with the same line of capturing this thing. So I thought capturing this thing will just comes, the rook captures, the queen captures rook with a check, uh, but that doesn't, yeah, but still the threat is along the diagonal, so it's okay to lose this rook. So after the king a2, even if you can capture this, which allows the rook takes d8, captures on d8, then the queen d7 check. So it is forced to play this. Okay, this allows this check. So probably whatever the move you play, you can just have a, so whatever the move this means, right? So I can just play this check, king g6, okay, it's f5. So the game is completely on the white's favor. So after the captures, this is the move that Bologan had in his mind. So after g takes h6, the queen e5, so which resolves the position. He doesn't have the mate in one, but he missed this mate, so actually forcing him to capture and have this mate. That's nice. This game is so complicated, bro. Since both the parties didn't play the main lines in the sense the ancient lines, top moves are gonna be the ancient. So there are different ways we can just finish this game off. So after having this character set up and developing the pieces, so the real game starts. You probably should be stopping this H file pawns. This is a wonderful idea. So this bishop is closed upon this diagonal, so it doesn't have any kind of activity. So reactivating the bishop into another diagonal for a better activity. Hmm. So this game's just made me so tiring, bro. The game is so tiring. Probably just move to the next game. I'm not sure whether that I'm just able to do this orders with the full efficiency. Now I can just realize how tiring it is gambling. So most of my games are just with a bullet where I try to win the opponent by time or by playing sneaky tactics. But when in the top level chess, in the classical chess, not even the top level in the blitz or rapid, but in the classical chess, so we should be developing the calculation. So it should not be simply rely on intuition and tactical thing and speed. So we should also be putting much more concentration on the calculation and calculation part. Okay, so we just move to the next game. So the next game is between Morozevich and Evgeny Alexei. So I don't know how to pronounce his name. Maybe he might be a Russian, I guess. So Russian is Russian. I'm not sure. Uh, so Zevich is a Russian. I'm not sure what Alexei is. Okay, so the game starts with e4, Sicilian. Knight f3, and then playing the main line, I guess. So e4, e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4. So c takes d4, knight takes d4, and then knight f6, then knight c3, knight c6, and then a simple f3 move. Okay, striking with e5, knight back to b3, knight, so bishop e7, bishop e3, bishop e6, queen e7, sorry, queen e2, short castle, long castle. So most of the Morozevich games is so aggressive. So he's the one to castle at the last, and he does what exactly the opponent does. So exactly that's the opposite to what the opponent does. So whenever the opponent is trying to castle short, they just go for long and try to make some attacks on the king side. Okay, then bishop a, sorry, knight a5. Wow, a simple tactic. Maybe probably eliminating this bishop might be his idea. So bishop to c4. So queen back to e1, queen e2, sorry, queen c7, knight back to b3, knight takes b3, pawn takes, sorry, a takes b3, and then the bishop backs to the e6 square. So g4. Now he started his attack on the queen side, sorry, the king side. So rook f c8, and then g5, knight d7, king b1. So whenever, yeah, so I guess this is the main principle. So even I too played this king b1 move to sort of having some spy for the bishop, or I don't know, that's what I usually think in my games. So whenever I play bullet or blitz, so I always try to oppositely castle to the opponent. So if the opponent castles king side, I'll just castle queen side so that I can just have some aggressive attacks on while my king is safe. Yeah. So whenever I castle king side, I don't know, maybe on the intuition I try to play the king b1 more. I still don't know what's the reason behind that. So what I thought is, so based on my experiences, so I'll just have a I will have the queen on the d2 square. So there's a possibility that the bishop can pin the queen with the king along this diagonal. So that's the reason why I just play the king b1. Zavich is also playing kind of like the similar one, but I don't know why he plays this b1 move, the king b1 move. Okay, h6. Then we have a h4, okay, queen c6. So see, the game is bit by bit moving on the white's favor. You can just see the eval bar. So after even after this queen c7 move, and the exchange is on the knight, so the game becomes on the white favor. They are uplifting the rook, attacking aggressively on the king side. g6, bishop a5, queen h4, bishop takes. Wow, so bishop takes c3, h6. So he doesn't care about his pieces. So the idea is to just capture and have some mating things up here, I guess. So he continued with f takes g6, pawn takes g7. Wow, so now the position is consolidated after the h5 move. So he plays queen g5, still having attacks. If the king captures, we can just still have the attack with playing this h6 move, I guess. So king takes d7. Okay, he simply captured the bishop back. B takes c3. Okay, bishop back to b7. King h6. So sorry, queen h6 check. So king is move to g8. Rook takes h5. Wow, another sacrifice here. So what's the reason behind that? If he captures, what would be his move? Yeah, probably the idea would be bringing the bishop to this so that he can just have some checks. So if this bishop is moving somewhere to have some square for the king, then he can just actually play this bishop e6 move to cut off the king's square and bring back the bishop to the same f7 square. So actually that might be the sequence of moves, I guess. So after captures, wow, that is also a good move. Yeah. So actually this is a top move recommendation, I guess. So cause this loses queen on spot, or you should be having you are just forced into a mate. So after this, this will be blocking up here. So allowing to capture with the queen. So moving here. I don't know, just play the sequence of moves, right? So that will be good. So after this, let us say queen captures this. Then the rook g1 check. Bishop bishop g6. So queen takes g6. King f8. And then the queen g8 check. And king has the only one square. And then yeah, I can just simply finish it off with the rook move. Hmm. Okay. Wow, that's a beautiful sacrifice up here. So after the sequence of moves, then why did he capture up here? So instead of capturing, you can just directly go for so you can just directly go for this thing, right? So allows to play f7. So after this, queen h6 is the move recommended by the ancient. So that we just get into the line that we just see now. But Morozevich played a quite safer thing, so he captured the bishop. So after the bishop to f7 move, now he plays the queen h6 check and sacrifices the rook and finishes off the game in style. So I guess the game ended after the rook g1 check. After the rook g1 check, bishop g6, Queen takes d6, king f5. So this is the sequence of moves that I played, right? So actually, when did he resign? Okay, so actually he resigned on this move. So because after this move, there's a mate of this. Hmm. So Bologan, sorry, Alexei resigned the game after the queen g8 check. Wow, so that's another wonderful game from Savage. So basically, Savage played aggressive opening against an attacking attacking kind of playing style against the Sicilian. So the position is building up here, right? So basically, so still up here, the position is raw. So we should be playing a bishop takes f1. So exchanging bishop is a good move. Yeah, so he didn't do that, so which caused him to have a bad position. So his bishops are restricted. The other bishop is also restricted as well. So kind of like his position is quite intrigued here. Okay, so after striking, hmm, yeah. So this is the move which is actually winning the position, right? So after this thing, he should be capturing f1. So bishop takes f1 is the move, but he didn't play that. So which actually maintain the advantage for the white, and Zavitz is just playing like an engine, so it doesn't lose his advantage. And a simple a rook sacrifice and a bishop sacrifice for a beautiful mate. Hmm. Okay, we'll just move to the last game. So I don't know. So I do know that I'm just analyzing the games not in a proper way. I mean, not to the full extent as with my full efficiency. With my full efficiency, actually, I don't have a full efficiency, so probably maybe I'll just record whole games in another stream. So I'll just try to record all the 10 games in a mega stream maybe. Okay, so just move to the last game. So this is a game between Ivan Sokolov and Alexander Morozevich. So this game took on the date 2005, Jan 25th. Okay, this is a decent length game. The game starts with a d4. Morozevich plays d5. Okay, the Queen's Gambit is on the board. Queen's Gambit. This is not the animation. The animation should be e6, right? So this is kind of like the countering the center. So what's this name called? Alvin counter Gambit. Yeah, actually this is a counter attack. So yeah, so d4, d5, c4, e5, pawn takes e5, d4, knight c, knight f3, knight c6, knight b, d2, knight g, e2, knight b3, knight f5, a3, bishop e7, g3, f5, queen d3, a4, knight bd2, h5, bishop h3, g6, knight e4, h4, bishop f4, h takes g3, h takes g3, knight back to g7, bishop g2, rook takes h1, bishop takes h1, bishop f5. Oh wow, we can't take with this, and this thing is different of only once, right? So why he played, so he lose the whole advantage of here. So just see in the second video, I'll just from the engine. So I just try to grasp the moves. So I'm not sure whether this move is so good because it can just go for this capture, right? So capture, captures, and we can just go for this capture, which allows. I'm not sure the game is like equal, I guess. So having 6 pawns each. Okay, so white has 7 pawns. Hmm. The pawn which is sacked earlier, right? Okay. So after knight fg5, knight fg5, and then knight a5, queen f3, knight e6, knight e6, and then knight h7, bishop takes e4, queen takes e4, okay, b6, sorry, c6, e3, knight b3, rook to d1, queen a5 check, king e2, knight c5, queen back to g2, queen a6 targeting the pawn on c4, king back to d, it's f1, so queen takes c4, king g1, queen c2, okay, queen c2, queen f3 defending the rook on the d1, now matching the pawn forward. So now the pawn is now the d pawn is marched to d3 square. Okay, bishop g5, knight e4, bishop takes e7, and then capturing the pawn, the f2 pawn. I'm not sure. So what if he captures this? He captures this. This will just resolve into this question, right? So probably the move should be after capturing with this. So this is the thing. So it eventually might be an equalish position. Maybe even after it changes. Yeah, so black is much better up here, right? Okay, so that's the real move played in the game as well. So after the knight takes f2, queen takes f2, queen takes e1, so queen takes d1, king g2, queen c2, so expecting an exchange, which eventually gets into the game. So long castle, king g1, queen takes f2, king takes f2. Ah, So I don't know why he played this move. So because one of the move he plays, he can just simply probably he can just bring the knight out, right? So which allows this, and there's no good move for white. Hmm, got it. So okay, so this unlocks the position from the beginning with the help of engine. So we have the Queen's Gambit on the board. So d4, g5, c4, and then you have a counter gambit by attacking with her e5. So d takes e5, e4, knight f3, knight e6, knight b, d2, knight g, e2, knight b3, knight f5, a3, bishop e7, g3, a5, queen d3, a4, knight b, d2, h5. So kind of like Morozov is pushing with full force. So he's just trying to bring more number of pieces into the opponent's force squares. So that is a rule that Bobby Fischer usually uses in his games. I try to kick out the pieces in his home squares. Home squares in sense the first sorry with the half of the board. So this half of the board for white and this half of the board for black. So if there are any white pieces in the if there are any enemy species in our half, then you should try to eliminate this or kick back. So that's the basic principle used by Bobby Fischer to play a great chess. So what actually Zevich does is, so try to bring one of his pieces to the opponent's half. Actually, already had two pawns, and he's trying to bring the knights as well into the game. So you're consolidating on the king side, knight e4. Wow. So he is fearlessly attacking, bro. So you can just see the eval. So according to this modern chess or even ancients, so Zerg is kind of like risking too much to gain some advantage. This game is played way back, so 20 years ago. So that's the reason why there are no ancient like lines or moves played in those times. Yeah. So in this position, you should be playing knight f6 check, supposing to capture and have some exchanges. Let's try to play the line knight f6 check. Let's say if he captures, then e takes f6, and then okay, so I just play with white, and I'll try to mimic the engine moves of black. So after knight f6 check, the best move for black is king f8. Okay, just like the king, that will be the best move. Not to give up the bishop for the knight, so this bishop is quite strong. Uh, this stop the ancient line. So king f8, and then a knight h4. Oh, sorry. Okay, knight h4. Rook takes h4. G takes h4. Bishop takes f6. Bishop takes f6. Okay, this move. Wait a minute. I'll just clear the command editor. So what's the shortcut to clear this, bro? I'll just look that later. Yeah. So the thing of here is, so after this check, king moves, knight here, rook captures, g captures h4. So bishop takes f6, e takes f6, queen takes f6. So I'm not sure what's the difference between these two lines. So you can just initially capture these things, right? However, this is going to give the bishop. but still the king is on the center file, so maybe doing that. So maybe that's the reason why to play the queen, the little queen king move, king slide move, and then play the sequence of moves. Okay. Hmm. So the game is totally in the favor of white, but he just lost all the advantage by simply having by playing this bishop g2 move. So trying to exchange the rooks and relieve the tension, and then the game starts to move in black's favor when he played this simple e3 move. So he should be playing the rook g1. Bringing the rooks to the center is a good thing, but he opened the center before playing that move, which actually played the knight b3 move, then rook b1. Now we have a queen a5 check. Got it, got it. So if he played this move, then you don't have knight b3 and queen f8 check. Okay, then having some kind of nasty uh, pins, which actually can be saved. So after it captures, yeah. So the game is lost on spot after this move. Yeah. So a simple pawn would just lose the whole game in the game. So and also after this, the best move is to play bishop b4, not queen takes d1. So which allows him to have one castle. Then the queen, sorry, then queen takes f2 is the move. So we should be allowing to play him to promote as a queen. Why king f4? What are the move that he plays? He's just losing, bro. So let's say he moves his knight, then he can just simply march forward the d2. So this promotion is unstoppable. So that's the reason why Sakala played the king g1 move, and then after sacrifices, sorry, after exchanges. So now one piece is being captured. So this is an easy win game for black because he has a boss d pawn, and he also has a major. Sorry, he also has a rook and a knight for. Maybe he can just give up a bishop or he can just give up the knight. Hmm. Okay, so probably I'll just end the stream. So I'm just so tired and I didn't analyze these three games with my full potential, with my full efficiency. So probably I'll just try to learn more about the positional and the classical way of chess, the positional play and the classical chesses. Yeah, probably that would be my goal before the year ends, to try to push and calculate more positions. See, actually, the thing up here is, literally, I can play 7 to 8 hours of chess games. I mean, not the real chess, the blitz and bullet, uh, without tiring. But if I'm just trying to calculate a simple, this is not simple questions, but a simple lines. Maybe I'm just considering some simple lines and the variations. So my brain is just getting too tired, bro, because I didn't have seen these ideas before, and my brain is trying to consume those ideas in an useful way. So yeah, probably I should be doing more. I should be spending more time on learning the classical chess. Learning in sense, trying to play more classical chess and analyze the positions for at least at least one or two games. Yeah, so maybe this kind of analysis should be pushing me to maybe at least a master level, maybe somewhere near 2200, 2300 rating. I don't know, that's a long-term plan. So yeah, so right now I'm just trusting the process and just going with the flow. Also, my aim is not to go and get those master titles, but just to enjoy the learning process and just journal and share how I'm just doing to get up that. Okay, then probably I'll just end the stream now. I'll just catch up the next one. Bye bye.